Hey guys, welcome to my channel Sengupta's Creation. I am Yona Sengupta, your coach, your mentor, and today we will be doing the second part, the second class of land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife. In the previous class, what we did was about land and soil. Now today we will be finishing the chapter water and natural vegetation and wildlife. Okay. Okay, so we'll start soon. Um, just a second, let me share the screen. Just a second. Okay, yes, I hope you can see the slides. Okay, so I will move on with water first. As you can see, just a second, many are coming inside the class right now. This is the problem of people coming anytime. Okay, as you can see, about water. Today we'll read about first the water. So what is water? Let us see. As you can see, first in 1975 the consumption of water for human use was 3850 cu. We call it q. Okay. uh, Copper kilometer per year. So it showed to more than 6,000 cu kilometer per year in the year 2000 2000. So a dripping tap wastes 1200 liters of water in a year. Can you believe it? That 1200, I think it is liter, right? Yes, liter a year. Liters a year. 1 liter is how much? There are many people in the earth who don't even get to drink water. Okay, next we will move on about water. So as you can see that water is the vital renewable natural resource. These four components which I just told you, that land, soil, water, natural vegetation, and wildlife, these all are inside natural resources. Okay, so you see that water is a vital and renewable natural resource, and three-fourths, can you believe, three-fourths of the earth's surface is covered with water, and it is therefore appropriately called that the water planet. So it was actually, just a second, why is this? Okay, so it was in therefore appropriately called the water planet. So it was in the primitive oceans that lives began almost 3.5 billion years back. So even today the oceans cover two-thirds of the earth's surface and support a rich variety of plant and animal life. So the next point is, of the earth's surface, Then what happens? The ocean water is, however, saline and not fit for human consumption. So fresh water accounts for only about 2.7%. So nearly 70% of this occurs as ice sheets and glaciers in Antarctica, Greenland, and many mountain, etc., regions. So due to their location, they inaccessibly, only 1% of fresh water is available for human use. So it is found as groundwater, as what do I say? Ground water, as surface water in rivers and lakes, and water vapor in the atmosphere. Okay. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next uh, part, which is known as the water cycle. Now, what does this mean? I'm going to tell you. Now, as you have seen that fresh water is therefore very much necessary, that the most precious substance on the world, and water can neither be added nor subtracted from the earth. So it's the total volume that remains constant, and its abundance only seems to vary because it is in constant motion, cycling through the oceans, the air, the land, and then again back again through the processes of evaporation, precipitation, and runoff. So these are the processes, and this, as you already know, is referred to the water cycle. So this is what water cycle means. Water cycle means. Next, I would like to tell you that next one is that an average urban Indian uses about here should be a okay, about 150 liters of water every day. Can you believe it? Drinking. So what are the uses and liters per person per day? So drinking is 3 liters per person per day. Cooking is 4 liters. Bathing 20 liters. Flushing 40 liters. Washing clothes is 40 liters. Washing utensils is 20. Gardening is 23 liters, and the total, in total, it becomes 150 liters. Okay. So as you can see that humans use huge amounts of water, not only for drinking and washing, but also in the process of production. Now water for agriculture, industries, generating electricity through reservoirs of dams are the other uses of water. Now increasing population, rising demands for food and cash crops, increasing urbanization, and rising standards of living are the major factors leading to shortages of in fresh water, the supply of fresh water, either due to drying up of water sources or water pollution. Okay, so we need to maintain the usage of it. We need to use a little small amount of liters of water. Next is the problems of water ability. Just a second, let me admit them again. So as you can see that there is a there is scarcity of water in many regions of the world. Okay, there are many. regions of the world, and most of Africa, West Asia, South Asia, parts of Western USA, Northwest Mexico, parts of South America, and entire Australia are facing shortages in fresh water supply. So, countries located in climatic zones most susceptible to droughts face problems of water scarcity. So, thus, the water shortage may be a consequence of variation in seasonal or annual uh, precipitation, or the scarcity is used by over exploitation and contamination of water sources. Okay, now if you all have any questions, you can tell me now. If you have any questions, I'll wait for at least 1 minute for you all. Hello Ritisha, hello Aham, hello. Orkudeep, yes, yes, actually, you will actually not believe, but only 1% of fresh water is available for fit for human use. Yes. Now, as you can see that a dripping tap wastes a lot of liters, like 1200 liters is out of the world of water in a year. Can you believe it? Even if it's in for example 5 to not 5, it's 3 to 5 years, that would be okay. But this is a little more exclusive. Okay, now if you have any questions, you can tell me. Okay, so the next slide, which is the conservation of resources. As you can see, now conservation of resources like access to clean and adequate water sources is a major problem facing the world today. So, steps have to be taken to conserve the dwindling resource. So, even though water is a renewable resource, its overuse and pollution make it unfit for use. So, discharge of untreated or partially treated sewage, then agricultural chemicals, and industrial effluents in water bodies are the major contaminants, and they pollute water with nitrates and metal pesticides. Yes. Next, we'll move on. There are many points here. So, most of them are actually by chemicals and are non biodegradable and reach human bodies through water. So, water pollution can be controlled by treating these effluents suitably before releasing them in water bodies. So, this photo you see is a water sprinkler, sorry. Next is that water is used for irrigating fields, and the canals should properly lined to immense. What does this mean? That forests like forests and other vegetation covers slow the surface runoff and replenish the underground water. So water harvesting and water harvesting is another method to save surface runoff, and the canals used for irrigating field should be properly lined to minimize losses by water seepage. So sprinklers effectively irrigate the area by checking water losses through seepage and evaporation. So as you can see that in dry regions with high rates of evaporation, drip or trickle irrigation is very important, and the valuable water resource can therefore be conserved by adopting these means of irrigation. I hope you have understood what I am trying to mean. Now we talked about usage of water. Here is another indoor household usage of water usage. The first one is the leaks, which is 13.7 percent. This is wrong. It should be more what do I say, 13.17. Just a second. Why is this happening? Uh, so you see that leaks are 13.7%, dish water is 1.4%, bath is 1.7%, uh, faucet is 15.7%, shower is 16.7%, this clothes washer is 21.7%. This should be more lesser. Then toilet is 26.8%. This should also be more lesser. And other usage for making food and all those are 2.3%. We should be a little larger. Okay, so we will move on to the next topic, which is about the water pollution. What does this water pollution mean? Now water pollution occurs when energy and other materials are released into the water and contaminatingly the quantity of it is for other users. So you see this is water pollution. Here are so much garbage here. Yeah. Next, the different causes of water pollution. What does this mean? The first cause is that the marine dumping, or marine dumping means the industrial waste dumping. Next is sewage, which is mainly from the household old our houses, from the streets, the what do we say, I don't remember the word, but it is said something. Next is different causes of water pollution. Again, another other some nuclear causes of water pollution are nuclear waste, oil pollution, underground storage leaks, and many more. Next are the effects of environment. Now, what does it affect? It affects the tox. Actually, the water, the fresh water or the water from glaciers and mountains, it makes them toxic water. Then there is thermal heating also on the environment, and our sources of water is lowered. uh, Now this were the effects on environment. This is the effects on humans. Now by drinking water, diseases are caused, like drinking water, then contaminated water, swimming in polluted water, then contacted with chemically polluted water, because from the, from the industries, from the canal, the waste materials, the liquid materials, and any other waste materials are always gone to the sea or the lakes or in the water, which contacts with chemically polluted water. Next is the effects on animals. Now the effects on animals are the birds, um, on birds and mammals become coated with oil. Now as you can see that, what can we do? These are the effects of on different organisms for water pollution. But what can we do? We can do what, that it is very simple, we can always do it, that turn off running water, turn off the running water. It's very easy. So what will happen, that we can ensure that we turn off the taps, save our water, save our environment, save our nature. So this will help us in fertilizing correctly. And always be cautious what you pour on your sink or flush down your toilet, because any waste which goes from this sink or flush goes to the water and pollutes our this thing, pollutes our things. So now what can we do is spread awareness, join a special society or anything. We can start from our home only. Society devoted to the, prevention of water pollution. As you can see, here you see, this is how they are helping. Now next we will be learning about natural vegetation and wildlife. But before that, if you all have any questions, you can tell me. Let me bring the charger first, just wait a minute. Okay, so now we will be learning about this natural vegetation and wildlife. First, we will be starting with um, wildlife. I sorry, natural vegetation. Okay, so as you can see that some okay, for example, natural vegetation and wildlife not only exists only in the narrow zone of the contact between the between the zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. And that is what we call biosphere. Before going into that, you have seen that some school children were visiting on, exhibitions on handicraft. So the articles in the exhibition you have must seen, not only in your school but any exhibition, some related to sociology or social science, something like that, you will see that the articles in the exhibition were collected from different parts of the country. Right. So you might have seen that there are many beautiful handbags. Right. So they are made of I'll tell you a story that Mona is a girl and she also went to the school for visiting the exhibition. So she picked up a bag and claimed that this is a very beautiful handbag. So then her teacher said that yes, and it is made up of jute. Right? Can you believe? Yes, yes, everybody is correct. And now, do you see those baskets, lab shades, and chairs? Her teacher asked Mona, and she said that those are made of cans and bamboos. So you see that the in the eastern and northeastern humid regions of India, bamboo grows is plenty. And now the friend of Mona, whose name is Jessie, was very excited to see the silk scarf. Okay, so she was very excited, and the teacher explained that the silk is obtained from silkworms. And so you see that they are bred on mulberry trees, and the children understood that plants provide us with many different products that we use in our day to day lives. Can you understand? Do you understanding? Yes, yes. Tell me in the comment box. Please comment. Yes, chat with me. I'm feeling bored actually. Yes, yes. Yeah. So next is about the biosphere. Now, as you can see that the natural vegetation and wildlife exists only in the narrow zone of contact between the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere that we call biosphere. So, as you can see that in this biosphere, living beings are interrelated and interdependent on each other for their survival. So, this life supporting system is known as the ecosystem. Very easy, right? Yes, tell me. Yes. So, as you can see, that vegetation and wildlife are both valuable resources. So as you can see that there are many innumerable uses of plants, and plants provide us with timber, and give shelters to animals, produce oxygens, and we breathe, protect soils, so essential for growing crops, act as a shelter belt, help in storage of underground water, give us fruits, nuts, latex, uh, turpentine oil. Now, you might be asking me that, ma'am, meaning of turpentine oil, right? You must be asking. So, do you know what does this turpentine oil mean? That this is an essential oil obtained from the turpentines by distillation and used specially as a solvent and thinner. Okay, so I hope you are understanding what I mean. Now, as you can see that plants of turpentine oil, gum, medical plants, and also the paper that is also essential for your studies. So therefore, there are numerable uses of plants, and you can add some more also if you like the examples. Okay. Now, wildlife includes animals, birds, insects, and as well as the aquatic life forms, and they provide us milk, meat, hides, and wool. So, insects like bees provide us honey, help in pollination of flowers, and have an important role to play as decomposers in the ecosystem. I hope you know what is the meaning of pollination. Next, the birds feed on insects and act as decomposers as well. So vulture, due to its ability, what happens to feed on dead livestock, is a scavenger and is considered a vital cleanser of the environment. Or else what will happen? Or else what will happen is that the if the vulture doesn't as a scavenger, it doesn't clean the this environment, what will happen is there will be more and animals, and they will start to dirty our nature, our environment, by their foods and their habits. Okay, so animals, big or small, are all sorry integral to maintaining balance in the ecosystem. Okay, now we'll move on to the next topic. I love to sing, uh, whatever. Now we'll move on to natural vegetation. Okay, so natural vegetation, we have done a chart type thing. So from there are two types. That first is the natural vegetation, then the types of vegetation, and then the factors of uh, natural vegetation. So types of vegetation are the tropical and subtropical forest, savanna, and the tropical forest, then savanna. Savanna are the tropical grasslands. Okay, so temperate grasslands, desert like shrub, and temperate forest. Next is wildlife reservoir and wildlife protection also is there. Next, we will learn about the factors affecting natural resources are the relief, climate, and ecosystem. After this, we'll go to the glossary about the virgin vegetation, ecosystem, flora and fauna, biome, and soil. These all we will learn step by step. Just a second. So, do you see this picture of forest is here? The green part, this part is the forest part of 21%. These are the shrublands part, 19%. Then there are savannas or the tropical part of 14%. Then are the grasslands. As you can see here are the colors, all the colors are actually given here. You can find them here also. Okay, then our croplands, which are 9%, urban are 0.5%, croplands are 2%, barren are 14%, wetlands are 0.2%, and other are the white are 11 percentage. Now, as you can see, there are four major vegetation of the world, which we just learned: tropical and subtropical, savanna, temperate grasslands, desert, and temperate forest. These forests, grasslands, shrubs, and tundra. Okay, these are the some of them. We'll there are many other chapters also, so there we will learn these all things, but now we won't. Okay, so these are the main of them. Now, as you can see that the growth of vegetation depends on primarily of temperature and moisture, and the major vegetation is the types of world and are grouped as forest, grasslands, shrubs, and tundra, right? So, the distribution of natural vegetation is of main two types. What are those? Those are evergreen and deciduous. Okay. Okay, so I hope you are understanding whatever I mean. I will tell you all the things, all. Next is the before going to the conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife, I want to tell you some things about the distribution of natural vegetation. As you can see, in areas of heavy rainfall, huge trees may also thrive. So the forests are thus associated with areas having abundant water supply. As the amount of moisture decreases, the size of trees and their density also reduces. So in short stunted trees and grasses grow in the regions of moderate rainfall, forming the grassland in the world, and thorny shrubs and shrubs grow in dry areas of low rainfall, as you can see. And in such what do I say, in such, how do I explain? In such areas, plants have deep roots and leaves with thorny and waxy surface, and reduce of the moisture through transpiration. So tundra vegetation of, for example, tundra vegetation of cold polar regions um, comprise of mosses and lichens. So today there are many more people in the world than there were two centuries back, to feed the growing numbers of large areas of forest trees. So the forests have been cleared to grow more crops. So forest cover all over the world is vanishing rapidly. So therefore, there is an urgent need to conserve this valuable resource, which will be learned how to conserve of natural vegetation and wildlife. So now we learned about the four major types of forest, grasslands, shrubs, and tundra. What are those? Okay, next we did this evergreen and deciduous forest. We know what are these, and in different chapters there are different topics. Next, we'll move on to the conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. Okay, next one is that, as you can see, just a second. As you can see that forests are our wealth, and plants give shelter to the plants, and together they maintain the ecosystem. So changes of climate and human interference can cause the loss of natural habitats for the plants and animals. So many species have become vulnerable or endangered, and some are on the verge of extinction. So deforestation, soil erosion, or construction activities, or forest fires, tsunami, and landslides are some of the human and natural factors which accelerate the process of extinction of these resources. So one of the major concerns is the poaching, which result in a sharp, decline in the number of particular species. So the animals are poached for collection and illegal trade of hides, skins, nails, teeth, horns, as well as feathers, and many many more, as well as many many more are also there. Okay, so as you can see that some of these animals may be tiger, lion, elephant, deer, black buck, crocodile, rhinos, snow leopard, ostrich, and peacock. So as you can see that leopard, so these can be conserved by increasing awareness. For example, national parks, wildlife, how should I say this? Wildlife and wildlife sanctuaries, biosphere reserves are made to biosphere reserves. We will be learning. Just wait for a few moments. Are made to protect our natural vegetation and wildlife. So conservation of creeks, lakes, and wetlands is necessary to save the precious resource from depletion. Here you see there are many other points also. And as you can see, there is a balance in the environment if the relative number of species is not disturbed, right? So, um, human activities in several parts of the world have distributed the natural habitats of many species, and due to this indiscriminate killings, several birds and animals have either become extinct or are on the verge of extinct. Now, as you can see, awareness programs like social forestry and Vama Mo Hastavna should be encouraged at the regional and community level. Many are asking me that what is a national park? A national park is a natural area designated to to protect the ecological integrity of one or more ecosystems for the present and the future generations both. So as you can see, school children also should be like us. We school children should be encouraged to bird watch and visit nature camps so that they appreciate the habitat of varied they or we appreciate the habitat of varied species. Now, as you can see that many countries now have passed laws against the trading as well as killing of birds and animals in India. Now, for example, killing lions, tigers, deers, great Indian busters, and peacocks is now illegal. But some of them do this illegal work. Still now they do. Okay, so this is what we understand. Now, as you can see that an we learn so you see this conservation of plants and animals is a ethical duty of every citizen. Now there is a picture of this wildlife as we can see here. Next, we will go to forest fire. The topic is forest fire. Okay, so this forest fire happened in California. As California fires rages, the fourth day, hopes rest on wind AC. Okay, just a second. Give me just a moment. Then there is, as the California days, the hope of rest, and then California breathes easy as fire tamed. Then the California field to a natural disaster. Now with matches started massive US fire. US means in the state of USA, United States. There was a massive fire because of a kid with matches. So there is an activity I would like to tell you, that read the news item and find out how fire started in California. Whatever is given there, just find it out, and how could it be avoided. Now, okay, many are giving me the answers. You write it down, no problem. I am telling you the actual answers which will help you, I think, which is, now, as you can see, there are three main reasons that occurs this fire occurs mainly due to. Now, for first, before starting, that forest fire is a threat to the entire region of fauna and flora, plants and animals both. So the first reason is natural fire due to lightning, etc., etc. Okay, natural fire is accelerated. Next is fire due to the heat generated in the litter due to carelessness of uh, people. So as you can see that this is our carelessness, that a kid was with the matchsticks and it started a massive fire in the United States, right? So the next point can be that fire purposely caused by local inhabitants, mischief makers, miscreants, and etc., etc., many more people. Now, what we can do is we can help them. We can control some of the measures. What are those? They are the prevention. First, the prevention of fires through education. We should give them the natural education, the base or the basic natural education to prevent the fires. Okay, next is that prompt detection of fires through well coordinated network of observation points, efficient ground patrolling, and communication network. Okay, so as you can see, this point what I just said means that the network should also be more strong for being well coordinated for the observation of the points of these forests and the points of this electric matters. Efficient ground patrolling, communication network should be more well coordinated. Okay, next we will learn about is uh, CITES. Yes, here you see in the no more, these are all the I wrote just now. Yes. So next I was talking about CITES. Now what is this CITES? CITES, the full form of it is the Convention of International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, meaning plants and animals both. So as you can see that it is an international agreement between governments, and it aims to ensure the that the international trade is in specimens of wild animals and plants does not threaten their survival. Roughly, roughly approximately approximately, for example, 5,000 species of animals and approximately 28,000 species of plants are protected. And bears, for examples, are the examples of these are bears, dolphins, cacti, corals, orchids, and aloes. Now you must be knowing that the internal convection, which is known as CITES, which I am just talking about, has been established that lists several species of animal and birds in which trade is prohibited. So conservation of plants and animals is a ethical duty of each and every citizen. Now there is some glossary I have made. The first glossary is that weathering, the breaking up and decay of exposed rocks by temperature changes, frost actions, plants, animals, and man. In the first class I have told you what is weathering. And what is national park? National park is a natural area designed or designated to protect the ecological integrity of one or more ecosystems for present present. Okay, so for present and future generations both. Okay. um National park is a natural place which was already there, and we made them into a park. We put some benches, and then why? Because we want to save it, or to protect the ecological integrity for present and our future generations. Now what is biosphere reserves? I've already told you in the previous class that biosphere reserves is means that series of protected areas linked through a global network intended to demonstrate the relation between conservation and development. Okay, so now, do you have any questions? I would like to know your questions. Hmm. Yes. Yes, and at last, I would like to thank you, all of you, each and every one of you, that thank you for coming to my channel. Please subscribe Sengupta's Creation, my channel. Like and subscribe. Just hit the bell icon, and it will not cost anything. You are just conserving one's life, which is mine. Okay, you are making me happy. And thank you for coming to my channel. Now, even if you don't, I want to tell you an amazing thing that I am going to do 50 50 questions and 100 questions mentee, two different mentees. I'm going to do it, and I hope you will join it. But before joining it, please do subscribe my channel and like the video. And many have asked me again and again that, ma'am, we can't see the live chats in YouTube, in the YouTubers. So I am going to tell you that these are I am also streaming equally. I am streaming in another site also, except YouTube at the same time. So there are, except YouTube, there are many people in another site. And if you want to know that what site is that, I will surely tell you. Just what you need to do is like and subscribe my channel. For you should also click the bell icon for whenever I'm online. You can watch my videos live and also many videos. Yes, yes. I will wait for 5 minutes more. If you have any questions, you can tell me, or else I end the class. Okay, so it seems like there is no more questions today, so I will end my class here. Bye bye. Thank you for having my classes, joining my classes, and thank you. Bye bye. Have a nice day. Good night.